She will not give the ball up. It's selfish basketball. It's a lack of awareness. And this might be the most egregious case.
Angel Reese's recent performance, in which she completely froze out teammate Lexie Hull, who was standing alone under the basket with her arms raised, was one of the most astounding displays of basketball selfishness this season. It wasn't just a missed opportunity. It perfectly highlighted the troubling problems with Reese's game. Why would a professional player ignore
Specifically the Rose BC, more specifically Angel Reese, and how one performance and most importantly one particular play should send a shiver of fear, should frighten the hell out of Chicago Sky fans everywhere, because it's something, frankly, Sky fans saw a lot of last year, and I have been vocal about, and that's the fact that when Angel Reese gets the ball in her hands anywhere close to the basket.
What's up,
ignore such an obvious pass? How did Reese go from posting nearly double-double numbers in the first half to 0 points after halftime? The answer may help to explain why Chicago Sky fans should be concerned. Hey basketball fans, today we're going to break down a moment that has left viewers of the WNBA and the unmatched basketball league completely stunned. If you follow women's basketball, you've probably seen the video that
game yesterday. My God. Right here, 71-62, a loss, and her game was ugly.
It's going viral on social media. It's so shocking that it's making people wonder if Angel Reese is a good basketball player. Court awareness and a focus on teamwork. Let me introduce you to the scene in Scene 3. Rose BC had the ideal situation and needed points. When players are in a position where they are celebrating 2 points before the ball even reaches them, it can be mind-blowing. This is what happened when Lexie Hull made a brilliant cut to the basket and found herself completely alone. Instead of making the obvious pass, Angel Reese chose to ignore her while holding the ball and having a clear view of Hull standing there with her arms up. Let's take another look at this play. Hull cuts to the basket, gaining perfect positioning with no defender in sight, her arms up, calling for the ball. She literally turned her back on her wide-open teammate, forcing up her own contested shot, with defenders all over her, and she missed it completely. This is the pass that every coach, from elementary school to the pros, teaches you to make. However, Reyes doesn't even look her way. Instead, she backs off and makes a difficult shot that has no chance of success. This isn't just a careless choice. It seems as though Reese is wearing blinders, and when she gets the ball in her hands, the court shrinks to just her and the basket, making her teammates practically invisible. This is basketball tunnel vision at its worst. It's unbelievable. There was no one around, just a lane Angel who plays good basketball and gets an assist, but the numbers didn't show how open Lexie Hull was. From this game present a more extensive tale. Reese only made 4 of 10 field goals in the end, and those missed shots weren't from challenging shots. We're talking about simple finger rolls and close-range attempts, which are precisely the same finishing shots that she had trouble with during the previous season with the Chicago Sky. Consider the impact this has on team chemistry. Picture yourself as Lexie Hull in that situation, when you've done everything correctly and created space, and your teammate won't even look at you. How demoralizing is that? How does it affect your energy on the next defensive possession? How does it affect your willingness to make those cuts on future plays? I couldn't locate any obvious examples of Lexie Hull being blatantly selfish, but she was famished in the open, as seen by the fact that she was 1 of 9 from the field during this game. I've made an effort to be completely honest about the fact that I believe Angel is more focused on creating influencer content than improving as a basketball player, and this could be the ideal illustration of that. This occurs either before or immediately after the game, and by the way, this was her taking pictures and hanging out with some producers and rappers. What we're seeing here is basketball selfishness that hurts everyone. Hull, who loses the easy bucket she made, the team, which loses out on nearly guaranteed points. And finally, Reyes, whose inefficiency around the rim is exacerbated when she's forcing shots rather than taking what the defense gives her. Even though Lexie Hull didn't perform well in this game and was frigid off the field, they lost points because of Angel Reese's selfish behavior, which was only a symptom of a much larger problem that erupted in the second half. What does a professional basketball player do? When a player goes from scoring almost double points before halftime to scoring 0 points after the break, the reason why Chicago right now, Sky supporters ought to be pressing the panic button. Rose BC had won 5 straight games, and a victory would have guaranteed them a postseason berth with their top trio of Chelsea Gray, Lexie Hull, and Angel. Let's take another look at those first half stats. Reese undoubtedly had the victory in sight, but the performance only came from one Chi-Town Barbie, whose performance was far different from her overpowering 2023 performance just days ago. 8 points and 10 rebounds in just 13 minutes is a truly remarkable performance, and any coach would be ecstatic to see such efficiency. Instead, we saw one of the most spectacular disappearing acts in recent memory. Reese left the locker room prepared to dominate and lead her team to victory. There were 0 points, not a single basket, not even a free throw. It's as if someone flipped a switch and the player who was grabbing boards and scoring in the first half simply disappeared. Her performance yesterday was really awful. She failed to make any layups and was unable to shoot from the field 4 out of 10 times. It was awful, and she was totally shut out in the second half of the game. This is where things start to get really worrying. Reese received 4 personal fouls in the second half, which is not just bad luck. It's a blatant indication of defensive frustration and a lack of discipline. When a player accumulates that many fouls, the coach may decide to bench them completely, or force them to play more passively on defense, which has a devastating effect on the game. This is what happened at halftime. Angel scored 8 points, 10 rebounds in 13 minutes, shot 4 of 9 from the field, including 0 of 1 from beyond the arc and 0 of 1 from the free throw line, and committed 2 turnovers. She vanished from sight in the second half as Reese was occupied with accumulating fouls and making no offensive contributions. Chelsea Gray was putting on a clinic on the opposing team, scoring 38 points. When the stakes are high, a genuine competitor rises up. Gray wasn't just scoring, she was also leading, creating opportunities, and ensuring her team won. Chelsea Gray scored 38 points, 38 damn points, and was fighting for her life. There is no greater dramatic difference. Just one player. The other flees from the moment and turns into a liability, leaving her comrades hanging when they need her most to address the problems. She takes on the challenge, assumes responsibility, and uplifts everyone around her. Captain due to Chelsea Gray's outstanding performance, a fan added terrible because she finished the game with 38 points out of the team's 62 points, 2 assists, and 8 rebounds. Chelsea. She's really trying her hardest to save her teammates. But what's especially concerning is that this wasn't just Reese having a bad shooting night. It wasn't about missed shots or hard defense either. It was a total surrender when things got tough and the fouls started to pile up. She had no backup plan and no way to change her style of play to stay effective while playing with foul trouble. The 22-year-old finished with 13 boards and failed to score any more points in the second half. She also put herself into foul trouble, 4 personal fouls. Even when their primary skills are neutralized, elite players find ways to make an impact on the game. For example, if they are unable to score, they create for others. If they are unable to play aggressive defense, they concentrate on positioning and rebounding. If you're a basketball or hoops fan,